What is happening, everyone? Hope you are well. Let's just sort this cam out a little bit. Might be a little bit too far in. Here we go. What is happening, everyone? Really do appreciate you popping in, doing another daily vibe on a live stream, because yesterday was so good. Everyone popped in. It was great to see. So I thought I'd do another daily vibe live as well, because the interaction was good. Layla's popped in. Thanks ever so much. Hope you are well. I'm not checked. Did Curtis do something this afternoon? I know that he was back. I know he's doing the watch along. But did he do anything this afternoon? I have not checked. So appreciate you popping in. Really do, as always. And today I'm just going to go over the Lokonga deal. So as you know, we've been rumored with Lokonga from Anderlecht, 21 midfielder, alternative and a cheaper to Basuma and more of a sell-on fee. And also Spurs no to another manager. Rather, the managers have said no to them. This is the first time that they've got it out in the press that they have said no to this manager. So that's what we're going to run over today. There's loads of other rumors going on as well, but I just thought it was important that we speak about this Lokonga situation, because to be honest, when it first came into the news that we was going for Lokonga, for me it was I had mixed feelings towards the sign at the beginning. And then when I digested it, it was like, right, you know what? I can see why Arsenal want to go for this kid. He's young. He's a cheap and alternative to Basuma. He's going to be add-on value. It looks like we're trying to move in the way that we like Leicester and like Villa have moved in getting players in, looking for an investment, as that's how you run a business. That's how we are. Some Arsenal fans don't like the fact that we are in that position, but that's how we need to run our club to get where we need to get to now. The days are over where we can just go and sign players willy-nilly, huge contracts, etc., things like that. We can't do that. We need to run like a Leicester, like a Villa, and like a West Ham this season, and go and get players that we can add value to, not only on the pitch, but maybe sell on. That is the fact. That's what we've got to be at Arsenal. So going back to this Lokonga, I'm going to come to your comments in a minute, everyone, so stay tight. Going back to this Lokonga one, all of a sudden, when someone shows an interest in a player, everyone else jumps on the bandwagon, or it comes out in the media at least that everyone jumps on the bandwagon. And I think that's what's happened with this kid. All of a sudden, his agent is going to be using this Arsenal situation with other clubs. And it's come to light today. Just going to share this one. I'm going to share this one with you, right? Let me just share this. You may have seen it because it was tweeted a while ago now. But let me just check. So look at this tweet here. You've probably seen already. So look at this tweet here. See if you can see it on your screen. Look closely here. So as we know, ZRAFC is a good source. Bayern have filed a loan offer with an option to buy of 10 million for Albert Sambi Lokonga. So they're looking to pay 10 million up front. They'll take him on loan, and then they'll pay the rest if they want to keep him. Anderlecht would prefer to sell him for around 20 million euros, straight 20 million, instead of lending it without a purchase option. Lending with a purchase option, Arsenal therefore appear to be winning the race. However, if the player decides that he doesn't want to go to Arsenal and he wants to go to Bayern Munich, all of a sudden, it's completely different. It's all right, Anderlecht saying that they want 20 million euros and Bayern Munich want to spend 10 million, take him on loan, and then pay the rest. Basically, they'll take him on loan, they'll pay the 10 million fee. If they don't think he's one that can progress, they'll just give him back. So they've wasted the 10 million, really. Because will he play every week? I'm not sure he would at Bayern. Anyhow, if the player then turns around, his representatives say, listen, we don't want to go Arsenal now that we know Bayern are involved. There's also French clubs involved. I think there's a Spanish club involved. He's going to turn around and say, no, I'm just going to stay here. So it's all right, the club saying that they might want to deal with Arsenal. But if the player don't want to go to Arsenal and the player wants to go to Bayern Munich now, because let's be honest, now we're competing with players when Bayern Munich have come involved. Now, all we've got to do is try and convince this player that we are the club for his development, is going to play more, etc., etc. So depending on where the player wants to be, will probably dictate the business with Anderlecht, Bayern, and Arsenal. So I don't know what your thoughts are on that. I really don't. For me, it's a problem. It's a problem when someone else comes in for a player that we want for the size of Bayern Munich. Yes, we're looking to just put the money up front. We're looking to just get it done, etc., which might help us and show the player and the club that we are very, very serious and we're not just jumping on the hype wagon like Bayern might be. So I'm just going to get to a couple of your comments. Obviously, Layla, my shots at Curtis are unreal. Yeah, crazy. Have you told him about your shots? I'm going to tell him. That guy D, big respect for coming in. Big up, man. Big up, mate. Really do appreciate it. Spuds can't even get a manager. I mean, we're going to get onto that after we speak about, like you say, let's speak about this Lokonga, and then we'll get on to this, obviously, Spurs fiasco, what's going on there. Your thoughts on Daka to Chelsea. Now, Layla, to be honest, Daka, a lot of clubs are in for him. Oh, just about to break you. Czech Republic, I think, have got a penalty against Croatia because it's just on the screen. 36 minutes gone. The kid who scored an absolute worldie, I think, against Scotland, he's now going to take the penalty. So I might as well do it on air now, aren't we? Czech. I mean, if Czech win this game, that'll be 2 wins for them, and then Croatia will be going home. Interesting. So let's just see. Does he score it? Does he score? He's got great technique from the goal the other day. Does he score? Oh, he placed it in the bottom corner, and Czech are winning 1-0 against Croatia. Unreal. So my thoughts on Daka. Arsenal were interested in him, right? But so was everyone else, right? He had a pick of a bunch, let's be honest. And the way Leicester are moving, I am not surprised that looks like that deal is going to be, I think that deal is going to, well, it looks like paperwork just today. So for me, great signing. Great signing. Static, AFF TV, big love to you, man. Curtis Shaw sent me. Yeah, big love to all the people that come over for Curtis. Me and Curtis are friends. We go back a long time. We played briefly together when I played just non-league a little bit. So yeah, me and Kurt are tight. We'll begin having a lot of things together for the future for a very long time as well. So yeah, big up. Thanks for popping in. Really do appreciate it. Mustafa Mama's put a big yo, what's happening? Hope you're well. Layla's put, why are you telling Curtis? I'm not telling Curtis. You're getting scared. In case he pulls you out. Nah. Don't worry about that. I'm not. So come on, people. The thoughts on Lokonga. What do you think? Do you think he'll be able to get through? Do you think it will go be in do you think he will go to Bayern rather than coming to Arsenal? I mean, what do you think? For me, I think it's for him as a player, as sad as it sounds, he's going to want to go to Bayern Munich. He's going to want to try and push this move to Bayern Munich. Let's be honest. He's thinking, right, Arsenal, Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich are on a different level to Arsenal. Now they are. You know, years and years ago, we could have a different conversation, but now they are on a different level. However, it could just be paper talk from Bayern Munich. The club will very, very push the deal to go to Arsenal because they just want the 20 million euros. They don't want to spend around with a 10 million, then a not guaranteed purchase at the end of it. So they'll be trying to push that. But I think it's just paper talk. It could be just paper talk from his agent trying to get more wages from Arsenal, trying to build his stock up. But there are some other clubs that are very, very interested in him. Very interested in him. Let us put, would Daka be the next Haaland and replace Vardy in the long term? I mean, Vardy's one of those, and it's like one in a million where you get a kid from non-league who's absolutely lightning and finishing deadly. Daka has got that opportunity. Daka has got that talent, no doubt. Will he be as good as Vardy has been in the Premier League? There's not many who have been as good as Vardy in the Premier League. Not many at all. So that's a big ask. He has the potential. He has the ability. We will only see. Will he fit into exactly how Leicester play? Will he like living in and around Leicester? Will he adapt to everything? We just don't know. It's very hard to tell. Does he have the ability? Is there a chance? Unbelievable chance. But like you say, we just don't know until they settle in. Mustafa Ahmed, I hear Lokonga is a done deal to Arsenal. It's about time. Well, I wouldn't say it's far from a done deal. I'm saying it's far, I've worked, obviously, being a footballer for years, then being an agent for a period of time. Deals I've been on the way to a Premier League team with a client in the back of the car. We got a call and we turned round. We turned round on the M6 and went to the other club and signed within 3-4 hours. And this club on the way found out that we signed for someone else through Sky Sports. So, yeah, the deal is not done until the deal is done, as they say. Do you know what I mean? I am King. Welcome. Thanks for your comment. Really do appreciate it. You put, let's be honest, bro. We aren't that anymore. Players don't want to come here. And you've exactly hit the nail on the head. Like we have to come to terms that players are looking at Arsenal very different than they would have 10, 15 years ago. Very, very differently. They're looking at Arsenal now as, I could go there and ruin my reputation. I could go there and be an absolute legend. However, I'm playing with a bunch of players who are not as good as, say, obviously a Bayern, obviously a Leicester, a Villa, even West Ham at the moment, even a Spurs. Our players are not as good. Our squad is not as good as those. So if you're a player and you're thinking, right, I'm going to prove to the next level, I want to go. These are the things that you think about as a player before you go and sign for a club. You check out what's going on. You check out where they're going to go, what the progress, how do I fit in that team? Who's the one who's going to supply me? Who's going to link up with me? Is it worth it? Will it damage my reputation? You know, it's a tough decision when it comes to signing for clubs. Ladies, but Leicester should look at Jeremy Doku. Do you know him? Not, to be honest, not a lot of don't really know much about him. Feed me, tell me who he plays for, tell me a little bit about him. But Leicester's recruitment and Leicester scouting is top drawer, has been for a long, long time now. They always look for players who I don't think the next tier of players are looking at. And then because they're the best of the next tier, aren't they? Let's be honest. They're the best of the next top 6 or the best outside the top 4, the best outside the top 5 at the moment. So they can be in command when it comes to those types of players. So interesting. Curtis has sent a bounty to Arteta and his wife for not leaving because Curtis has done all the chores. Listen, Curtis is, how can I put it? You know what? Curtis he just wants Arsenal to do well, like we all do. You want Arsenal to do well rather than against the manager. I'm the same. If Arsenal do well, I don't care who the manager is. It doesn't make no difference to me who the manager is if Arsenal do well. What I don't like is when you don't see no progression. And that's Curtis's always argument when it comes to Arteta. Ladies, but Leicester Arsenal combined 11 for you. I would love to know your opinion. We may have to do another show of that. We'll see how we go on this one. Andrea, thanks for the comment and popping in. Really do appreciate it. We should be looking at the recruitment strategy of teams like Leicester and poach their scouts. Since 2015, they've consistently made better buys than us, and it shows in our positions. 100%. Recruiting is always the one skill, what will create you longevity. Always a time. Leicester did it. I think they had, who was it I used to deal with there? I used to deal with the chief scout there, and then he moved to Everton. We managed to take a couple of players to Everton at the time. I can't remember his name. It was my partner at the time who was doing the main dealings with him. Well, anyway, he was in control of head of recruitment at Leicester. They then changed that head of recruitment and brought new people in, and then all of a sudden it just changed, and they were picking players and pucking players out of League One, League One in France, League Two in France, foreign leagues, etc. And they really, really put to work what they needed to do, get these players that other teams wouldn't really go for through football snobbery. And you know, it takes time. It takes time to build. It takes resources. It takes a lot of energy, but you got to look at the bigger picture. You got to do the compound effect. It's like in life. People want to think about what they can do next week or tomorrow. You think about it. You do the skills and think about where you want to be in 10 years, and you'll be, well, you can be what you want to be in 10 years. It's as simple as that. Can be what you want to be. Queen did I see us, but hello Francis, just got my notifications watching from Canada. Great live, keep up good work. I'm glad that you got the notifications. Make sure you turn your notifications off because we will be doing more daily vibe lives, and obviously got watch along not long after then we wrap this up. But all the way from Canada, we're going global. It's great to see. Really do appreciate it. And I'm glad that you noticed that the work that I'm putting in. But at the end of the day, it does not work without you putting comments in. It does not work without you showing support. So, you know, that's what we've got to do. Demise of Arsenal can be linked to departure of David Dean and the failure to replace him. It was the whole thing. I think we had a picture. We had a big plan. We had, you know, go to this stadium and do build. You know where I'm coming from? You know where I'm coming from when I mean like build. You build from the bottom. You build from. Right, first of all, we get a new ground, then we get this in, then we get that in, step 1, step 2, step 3. But we didn't do that when David Dean went. We kind of like went backwards, and Wenger was kind of left out to dry. Everyone was saying Wenger out, He's old school, nothing new's coming. And then all of a sudden you realize how important and what a job Wenger was doing to keep us in that top 4 on the shoestring budget at times compared to the other ones that he was doing. And some people, you always got to be careful what you wish for without digesting and thinking about actually what do we want as a football club. And Arsenal have messed up, and this has been going on for years, absolute years. Just going to the Euros. Let's put Czech Republic and Sweden are the surprise packages of the tournament. Yeah, Czech are doing well, especially if they win this game. Sweden, decent. Obviously, I don't think they'll go far. I think obviously they'll get to 16. Will one of them maybe get to the quarterfinals? We will see. We will see. Do you think Leicester have replaced Riyad Mahrez? Nah. It's going to be very, very hard to replace Riyad Mahrez. Let's be honest. He was one of those where everything fitted perfect for him. He came to Leicester. They loved him. He fitted in. It just seemed to work for him, and he just grew and grew. And it's all about timing. When a player signs for a club, it's all about timing. Let us also put Isaac looks good. He does look good. I got to be honest, he does look good. The price tag for me is a no-no. People are talking about 65, 70 million. I know he's 21, but he's only scored 17 goals in La Liga and just played for Sweden. I mean, 70 million, not for me. However, 50 million, maybe, but no more than that for me. No more than that for me at all. Right, so keep putting your comments in. We're going to come back to them. We're going to now go on to Spurs. A lot of you are thinking, boo, we don't want to speak about Spurs. But I speak about everything on this channel, don't I? I don't just speak about Arsenal. I'll speak about what's happening in Chelsea, all the clubs, whatever the main headline is. And obviously Spurs at the moment is absolutely shambolic. So that's the good thing that you'll be excited about and happy about that. I'm absolutely shambolic. And I like all football clubs, as you know. I'm very unbiased. I'm very open-minded when it comes to football, because I played, because of agent, because I have people involved in different parts of the game. I try to be very open-minded and unbiased as possible. I'm never going to get it right because I'm human. Of course, I've got some bias. So let's get into Gattuso. So rumors straight away with this Fonseca shambolic, his to do with he has a tax law in Italy which forbids him from paying certain taxes that you can't do in England, which meant that his wages, Fonseca's, would have been probably slashed by probably like 20 to 25% through English law. Spurs were not willing to obviously up that, and he was obviously not willing to come down that. So he just walked away, said, no, we're not doing it. And that was the end of that. Straight away, all these other managers come into it. Gattuso. Now, Mendes is Gattuso. As we know, Mendes deals with a lot of players. One of the top 3 agents in the world. When he's involved, deals tend to get happen. However, this deal broke down very early. Mendes was obviously speaking with Levy, etc. at Spurs, but they just could not come to some kind of agreement. And I don't think Gattuso fits the profile of what Spurs are looking for. And there was a massive uproar from the fans and put a lot of pressure on Spurs. And they cannot get this one wrong. They really cannot get this one wrong. I don't know who they're going to go for. I really don't. They're running out of options at the moment. They seem desperation. It's like your ex-girlfriend who, when you get a girlfriend, your ex-girlfriend wants to just try and make you jealous, and she just runs off with any dirty man. That's what I think this is the way that Spurs are moving right now. So they really need to sort themselves out. I don't know who they're going to go for. I thought they was going to go for Nuno from Wolves. He was then in contention at Palace. That was then dead rubbered because he wanted more money when it came to the transfer in at the summer. Now, what a lot of managers are doing at the moment, they want to know what budget you're going to give them at the summer. And with COVID, clubs can't afford to be throwing around the crazy, crazy amounts of money that they were before. So these managers are coming in and saying, wait a minute, you're killing us. You're telling me you want to be a manager of a club, yet you don't want to give me the money to build my team. So they're walking away, and these managers are not putting their reputation on the line at all when it comes to that. So I'm not sure who Spurs are going to go for. One name I'm sure, and one name that I'm surprised hasn't been linked is Rafa Benitez. Now, this crazy thing going around him being Everton manager, I think the Everton fans would burn the stadium down if Benitez came Everton manager. I really do. I think they would go absolutely crazy. For those of you who've never been to Liverpool, they are some of the craziest and the most passionate fans you will ever come across. And obviously, you got Liverpool and you've got Everton in the same city, literally not far from each other at all. And Benitez is obviously massive, massive history with Liverpool and always lives in the area, still lives in the area, family still live in the area. So that could be chaos if he was to get the Everton job. So I don't know who Spurs are going to get. I just think that it's shambolic the way that they're running it at the moment as the club, who is making the appointments, who is trying to deal with these negotiations, because for me it seems like Spurs want the best and don't want to pay for it and becoming very arrogant from who they go for. But they really need to choose a manager. We've got Arsenal who can't sign any decent players, and then we've got Spurs who want decent managers but just can't seem to get it right. So North London at the minute, I tweeted it, is looking a little bit shocking and probably the worst it's been in Premier League history at the moment, let's be honest. So just going to go to the comments. Sibo, thanks for the comment and popping in. You're doing a great job, bro. Keep it up. Watching from Connecticut, America. Love that. Love that. Love America. Never been to Connecticut. Want to take my son, obviously, to go and see some basketball and things like that. And my wife's never been to America as well. So big fist, big up for the love from America. Really do appreciate that. Love hate KSE has put on Twitter hashtag #Gattuso was trending due to the high backward ideology. Listen, his backward ideology. Yeah, listen, they were not happy at all, the Spurs fans. They will go, and you know what? Fair play to them. Fair play to Spurs for standing up and saying, we don't want this type of manager. He's not really done much, let's be honest. He's not really pulled up any trees. His teams have not really played in any certain way. And exactly what you say with the backward ideologies of thinking, he thinks like an old school Mourinho or a Pulis or a Sam Allardyce. Like it's crazy. The old school mentality can't work. You got to be friends with these players these days. Caps, thanks for the comment. Really do appreciate it. Big up FFTV. Yeah, big up to you. Really do appreciate your comments. Love hate, love football hate. KSE has said, he says Spud's moving like scared to finish. Scared. Listen, you know what I'm like? I don't want to be killing people off. Do you know what I mean? So I'll just keep it professional, yeah? We'll keep it professional, but you can put your things in. I don't know if we've got any Spurs fans in here, you know, I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. It'd be nice if we have got any Spurs fans in. Spurs had a bad enough reputation in diversity appreciation. They don't need Gattuso to compound that notion, laugh out loud. No, they don't. No, they don't. And they've got to make sure this appointment, is absolutely spot on, because they don't, it's going to be embarrassing for them. It really is. I'm Kings put Spurs are going to mess this up. I can see it coming. I mean, can it get any worse? Honestly, can it get any worse? Well, it can actually. You can appoint a manager and you could finish below Arsenal. I mean, that would be like the killer for you. That would be the killer for Spurs, let's be honest. Because for us, we've been chasing for 5 years now. From obviously not having to look after our shoulder, now we're chasing and chasing and chasing. Queen Dancy has put, Levy has made an absolute embarrassment of this club. He really has. He really, really has. I've got to be honest. I'm all for the way that Spurs obviously got the stadium. Fair play to them. They made this magnificent stadium. They try and do try. They've got a good, for me, they've got some decent players in the camp, build good team, pay good wages, got good contracts, trying to bring youth through. But that all depends on the manager. Sometimes managers don't want to bring youth through, but they've just not got their appointment right. When they went for Mourinho, I thought something would happen with them. And then when they got to the top of league, everyone was like, you know what? It weren't great football, but we know what Mourinho's about. Is he going to finally win something? And it just wasn't to be. And they just got rid of him. Inside information, I imagine, was it wasn't really happening. So what's happening, Chris? Thanks for the comment, mate. Chris Garvey has put, maybe a few years of mid-table mediocrity is what we need at Arsenal. Might get rid of the players and just want the high wages. Good point. Very good point. I think that's where we are at the moment as well. I think if you can shed those types of players out, like you say, the big wages, and you can get players who want to come to Arsenal, and they're not top players, but they do want to come to Arsenal and prove themselves, and then you can kind of go into that mold as a Dortmund, as a Leicester, as a Villa are doing at the moment, where you get players and then you can make money from it as well. I think Ben White is proof that might be one of them, and this Lokonga is proof that you might get one of them. So good point. Sometimes you have to take a step back. In fact, most times, 99.9% in life, you've got to take a step back to take 2 steps forward. And that's exactly what I think we might have to do at Arsenal. Queen Design is put, I'm just a bit shocked that someone in the club thought it was a good idea to even consider. I think it's a crazy one. I mean, he just leaves, Gattuso just leaves Fiorentina 22 days after not being happy with the summer transfer targets or the summer budget, which I can't believe they didn't speak about that before they sat down and obviously gave him the job. So he walks away. So you know you're going to have a problem if he comes into Arsenal. I mean, if he comes into Spurs, he's not happy with something. He's just going to have this problem where he's just going to say, you know what, I don't need this job. And you're going to have a problem. And Daniel Levy needs to think about it. I think people like Potter, Eddie Howe, these types of managers should be given a go at these clubs that keep wasting their money on foreign managers. That's my opinion. I would have rather have Potter and Howe in than Arteta, and because they're better coaches than him. I just would have rather have seen them. Iron King has put, that man looking for their own Arteta, clueless manager. Like, you know what I mean? Boy, they can have Arteta. They can have Arteta, I can tell you that. Ryan's mate on Ryan, mate on Meals on Wheels. Spuds can be looking at homeboy Lampard or Howe, relegation bound. See, I'd go for Howe. I would have had Howe at Arsenal way more than Arteta. And I would have Potter as well. They've got an identity. They're good coaches. They know what they're doing with the players. And I think these players would do more for him than Arteta would. Queen Dedan has put, how to not run a football club? Ask Daniel Levy. He said, yeah. Well, there's most like that, isn't there? Mike Ashley and things like that, absolutely crazy. Chris has put, Arsenal's future is players from our youth squad and a few clever buyers. Avoid the big names. They don't fit in the Arsenal model. No, they don't at the moment. They really don't. Exactly. They don't fit into the Arsenal model at the moment. Try and bring youth through. The only problem is you do that is how good is your scouting? How good is your recruitment? Because that could easily backfire. And before you know it, these youth players could be in a relegation fight. And then all of a sudden, kids ain't winning. Kids don't win much, and tell you one thing, they don't win relegation fights. So that's the only problem. Only problem. What's happening, Kabina Nash? Answer, sorry. What is happening? Hope you are well. Do you rate Chris Wilder? Yeah, he was my manager at Oxford. So Chris Wilder was my manager at Oxford. He's not an Arsenal. He's not going to be an Arsenal. He's maybe going to be a Palace. He's tactically, he's not got that to ask players, to Saka, to ESR, to a Ben White if we get him, to a Gabriel, to Saliba, to whoever he's not got that in the locker to tell them to be wrapping it round corners, etc. Chris Wilder has made a career out of being very disciplined, getting players to do what he wants them to do in the right areas and don't overcomplicate things. So Chris Wilder is good at his job, but he's not. Having worked with him and we've spoken with him many a times since the last 10 years, it's a tough one for him to be a tactical genius. He's just not that way. Eddie Howe is decent. Yeah. Caps, yep. Eddie Howe is decent. Eddie Howe's very good. Very, very, very good. Very good coach. Very good man manager. Everything is very, very detailed. And that's why the reason he's not a manager at the moment is because he knows his next job, he's going to be judged every single thing that he does to a T. And he needs to know that whatever club he goes to are willing to allow him to do what he wants to do. And that's his philosophy. Lionel, what's happening? I hope you're well. Jesus Corona is a little baller. He had a huge potential. I'm a Mexican myself. He plays like a Brazilian, though. Flair, work rate, grit. Maybe he just needs physicality for the Premier League. Yeah, good player. Very good player. Like you say, technically awesome. Physicality for me, I don't believe in all that nonsense. If you're good on the ball and you're clever, physicality. Look, you know, Insigne, Messi, Iniesta, Diego Maradona, all these players, like, they wouldn't even make it in England because these people were like, nah, they dribble too much. Nah, they're not strong enough. That's a philosophy. But for me, get him in. Get him in. If you're brainy, you don't need Mason Mount, lightweight. Gilmore, lightweight. Foden, lightweight. The ballers, absolute ballers. Neymar stunt double. What's happening? Hope you well. Thanks for the comment. Thanks for popping in. Enjoy another 8th place finish then, Chris. Yeah. Hey, listen, I think 8, you know what? Got to be honest. I think 8th will be hard work for Arsenal next year. I think 8th will be hard work. Captains have put you like Brendan Rodgers. We should have got Brendan Rodgers before he went to Leicester. Let's be honest. Because he ain't leaving Leicester now. He don't need to leave Leicester. He's going to try and get Leicester in the top 4. He's going to get the Champions. He's going to try and get Champions League football, etc. Win things. They believe that he is going to be the manager, and he believes that club is going to win more and more under Brendan Rodgers. And that's why they're doing what they're doing in the business. So unfortunately, we've missed that. We've missed that bus. I can tell you that. I am king. Is our youth system good enough? No. Arsenal's youth system is nowhere near as good as it used to be. They were feared with a Man United. They've gone behind. And you know why Arsenal and Man United have dropped behind is because they didn't do housekeeping for years. And Man City and Chelsea and Liverpool and Villa did all the housekeeping, took all the best players. So you're right. Our youth system, our youth team are bang average. Bang average. Can tell you that. There's some talented kids in there, but not like they used to be. Nothing like it. Chris put, they said kids don't win anything, but they won the league for Man U in the 90s. Yeah, you've always got your one-off, haven't you? You've always got your one-off, but probability, it's not going to happen. Kids, like you say, there's that one chance that everything happens, but probabilities, things just don't happen at all. With loads of kids. More forgiving kids chance, but you can't have too many in one squad at one time. Queenie Dynasty has put, whenever you see a potential manager in advanced talks, that means the deal is off. Seems to be the case at the minute. It really does seem to be the case at the minute. Chris has put, we have some clever players in our youth squad worth a lot of money already. Saka, Smith Rowe and Balogun, etc. Yeah, you can listen. Saka, we know he's good enough now. Smith Rowe, we know he's got potential still. Smith Rowe's still got potential to be great. He's good enough, but he's still got potential. He's still got a lot to prove. Balogun, we just don't know about. Great. We've seen Nketiah be the best champion, the best goal scorer in under 21 level. Can't kick a ball when it comes to proper football. So it's very hard to tell until they play. I've seen many youth players look great at youth level, step up, and just don't make it. I'm talking thousands and thousands. So you don't know until they have a good run of games. And even sometimes, listen, these players have 50 games. You think they're great. And then by 2-3 years down the line, you ask, where are they? Who could Spuds get more manager treating Spuds like a Tinder, nuff swipe left? That's what's happening at the moment. They're like, nah. Yeah. Boy. See them. Catfish. Nah. Which meal they want? Too expensive? Nah. Yeah, that's how they're moving. That is how they're moving. Santi Asharvin. Is that Santi? You put Shanti Asharvin. Asharvin was a baller, I know that. And Santi, oof. But I'm not sure. Caps. Top 10 is realistic for Arsenal. It is realistic, but it wouldn't surprise me if we don't get it. I've got to be honest. Borhan Baksh has put, would Ben White be a good signing? Thanks for popping in. Thanks for the question, because I've not seen your name before, so you must be new. Thanks for joining this growing community. For me, it would be a good signing. For a lot of people, they're not too sure. But for me, you've got to be realistic where we are at the moment. We are fighting other clubs for him. And I think that would be a good addition to our squad as we are rebuilding big time. And I think, yeah, it would be a good signing. But I would definitely not go over 45 million. Madavi has put, how are you, bro? I'm all good, thank you. I hope you're well. I hope the rain is not really, if you're in the UK, not really put you off today. It's a blessing, so I'm all good. England play today. What is your expectations? I think England will win at 3-1. I'm going to do a watch along. I think England will win 3-1. I think they are bringing Reece James and Luke Shaw in at the fullback areas, which is also good to see. So, yeah, I think England will win 3-1 and will secure the next round. Talk, though, about them trying to lose the last game, which would be crazy. You can't really try and lose the last game. So we don't get someone from Group F in the 16. Sometimes that's tactical when the clubs, they want the easier route. Queen D9C has said, the longer this saga goes on, the transfer window shortens and Levy has less time to spend on transfers, which will delight him. You know what? I think Levy, to be fair, is, how can I put it? I think Levy, wait there 1 minute, because my son's just too loud in the background. I just got to sort my son out. Right, I'm live. They can hear you. Be quiet. Sorry about that, people. We just have to let the son know. He forgets that I'm working next door sometimes. Anyway, so the longer that he does, I think Levy likes to spend money. I've got to be honest. I think he likes to spend money on transfers. However, it does leave him obviously less time and with the manager to try and sort out what type of players they're going to go for, because each manager will want different summer targets. Caps has put Arsenal need to bolster their midfield a big time, no doubt about that. Lionel's laughing. No doubt about that. We need a lot of time to boast that. Chris has put, it goes in cycles. Remember Arsenal 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s and up till now. I preferred it when we were a club rather than a business. Yeah, only problem is most clubs these days are businesses. The amount of money that they make. Croatia have just scored 1-1, 48 minutes. Perisic, decent, cuts inside, bangs it with his right foot. Caps, that's our level now, FFTV, just outside the top 6. Yeah, I think that's our level. I really do. I think if we finish 7th, that's excellent, to be honest. The squad that we've got and the manager that we've got. See what happens, what signings we get in, we will see. Chris has put, looking forward to the game tonight. My boy in Chicago might join us. That'd be good. That would be unbelievable. Unbelievable. Caps, Croatia 1-1. Yeah, just seen that. Really do appreciate that with the information. But I just don't know what's going on with Spurs. I really don't. Lokonga, he's going to want to go to Bayern Munich. He's going to want to go to Bayern Munich, but Anderlecht are obviously going to pop in there and say, listen, we need Bayern Munich to pay the 20 million euros because Arsenal are probably going to be willing to pay the 20 million euros. As you know, you always have football talk. Agents will be talking to numerous clubs, releasing fake press to their connections in all these Twitter and newspapers. Trust me, I know we used to do it when it came to some of our clients to try and get better contracts. And as for Spurs, like a lot of you have said, it's a shambles, but they need to really get something in order because their manager is going to want some transfer targets. And a few of them could be playing in the Euros. So it could be very, very difficult for a new manager to come in and get what he wants. And he's going to be judged on every job. Managers at the moment know that they're in control when it comes to budgets, which type of players that they need. And they know that their reputation is on the line big time when it comes to players and it comes to their job. So interesting times. There's a lot of news. It seems to be hotting up left, right and center with transfers. So there's always something for us to talk about when it comes to Daily Vibe If you haven't already, make sure you catch the little Euros videos in the morning. Even if you just click on, give it a thumbs up, because it helps the algorithm and people can see that. If you haven't already, because I do notice that a lot of people who do watch the videos are not subscribed. So if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like, share, comment. Again, helps us grow. Some people have been here since 10 subscribers, and you people who are subscribed now, who are helping us compound, who are involved in the 600 and so subscribers, when we get to 1,000, when we get to 10,000, 20,000, wherever we may end up, we don't know. You will have been a part of that journey, and I'm sure our chats, our conversations will help you and me along the way when it comes to that. So Queen Did I See has put, I'm just happy that we're not getting someone who once attacked one of our staff. Yeah, Gattuso thumping up Joe Jordan, I think it was. Well, it was in his face, but that's what he was about. I did used to like that passion football. We've seen a little bit of fisticuffs yesterday in one of the games, and it was good to see a bit of passion and men playing football again, rather than these little kids shying away from the sports. Caps, what players or areas would you address at Arsenal, Francis? I think we definitely need a creative midfielder. We definitely need someone to partner Partey. Doesn't have to be a superstar signing. I think Lokonga would do well alongside Partey. I think we need another creative player, and ESR can do his bits. I would give him a free role. I think we need one centre-half, but I think we need an experienced centre-half. But I get the whole White signing. We definitely need another centre forward, because the centre forwards that we've got at the moment are okay. Aubameyang, as we know, needs to either kick up the you-know-what. He needs to feel that his place is threatened. But when you're on that amount of money, if you're not playing and you're not interested with the manager, you're just going to put your tools down and look for another club. And that's what, Aubameyang could be doing. I'm not surprised. Love Football Hate KSC has put, I'm not surprised we aren't getting Lokonga, as I only heard of him like most journalists last week, as the only link to him is Henry on TV and the Belgian camp. Felt like lazy journalism, slow day. Well, it seems very, very interested. I mean, it seems that there's a lot of talks going on with what I'm hearing and what you're seeing on the Twitter or people with regards to the press. It just seems now that obviously the stories come out and other people are now interested in him, and will we be able to compete with them? We just need to pay the 20 million euros and get a deal done, because he is a good player and he's definitely worth 20 million euros. Let's be honest. So we need to just get the deal done. Chris has put, it needs a wholesale culture change at Arsenal, standing with Kroenke's wearing bye-bye. Yeah, Kroenke's ain't going nowhere, unfortunately. It does need a culture shock. It needs from top to bottom to know exactly what you're doing, who you want to bring in, what philosophy you want to pay, what philosophy you want to play. The first team coach needs to have the same philosophy as the under-23s. The under-23s needs to have the same as 18s and 16s and 15s and 14s, all the way down. So if you get an academy product who comes through, he is conditioned to do exactly what everyone else above him does. It's what they do at Ajax. It's why they continue. It's what they do at Dortmund. It's why they continue to produce a conveyor belt of player for 10, 20, 30 years. And that's what the club philosophy should be. But unfortunately, people just look tomorrow and don't look about 10 and 20 years' time, which it then becomes sustainable. Abba is the 8th highest goal scorer in Europe in the last decade. I mean, it's incredible the amount of goals he scores. But you've got to create the chances for Aubameyang. He's not the type of centre forward. He's not a Lukaku who can say the game is 1-0 and he will go and grab the game by the scruff of its neck, bring other people into play and control the game. Aubameyang's not that type of player. He will go off the shoulder. He will drift out wide, and you need to create chances for Aubameyang. Let us put high. I'm not sure that one's for us. And that's the difference when it comes to Aubameyang. He needs players around him. Certain players don't. And I think we need a centre forward who needs to bring everyone else into play. For me, I'd go for Ivan Toney all day. The Isaac kid does look good. I'm just not sure about his price tag, in my opinion. Chris has put, what about Posh this season? Will they survive in the championship? Let's talk about Posh actually briefly, quickly. If you don't know, I used to play for Posh 6 years. know a lot of the fans, know a lot of the people very close to the owners and the football directors, etc., in that club, and also worked for the BBC doing the radio for Peterborough games. Obviously went to Dubai for a couple of years and did not do the radio. Back in the Championship, I'm hoping I can get back on the radio and do some vlogs for you guys as well, which will be magnificent. Do I think this can survive? Yes. I think they will have learned from the last time that they was in there, and they will recruit well, organized, hungry players who I think are buzzing to play in the Championship. And I think they'll do all right, Chris. I really do. Really do. Caps, yeah, Obama needs service. Yeah, 100%. He needs a player who needs service. Otherwise, he'll just go missing. We've seen it so many times this season. Queen did I see? Looking at the caliber of managers, Paratici is looking at and supposedly advising Levy. Leaves a lot to be desired. I question his ability to bring in right quality to help find the club. This sporting director, I'm sure they tried it before. It's a foreign way of playing the game. It seems to work in foreign football. Doesn't seem to work in the Premier League because there's too many different agendas, too many different opinions. Now, he's always going to be trying to bring the Italians in. He's very close to Conte. Conte just couldn't do it because it didn't work out financially for him, as in regards to the, not personally, but the budget that he needed. So I think you're not really going to get any English managers now because they're not going to really understand the attributes of an English manager coming in. So for me, I would just have someone who I could liaise with, who I trust, but knowledge is paramount in the game. If I was going to put that position in, I can tell you that. So that is my thoughts on that. What I'm going to do, people, we've been on here for 45 minutes now because I'm going to have a little rest, sort my son out, and make sure that we are ready for the big game this evening. I appreciate everyone tuning in as always. It is a huge pleasure to get everyone in this community. Really do. Just read this comment out last from Love Hate Football. I always like to read your comments. When it gets to that point where we'll have so many people in the chat, it's not going to be a one way I can read everyone's comments. So I want to try and read as many as I can all the time. FG, I'd loved for Arsenal to get deals done ASAP, but that's not the Kroenke Sports Entertainment Management. Anyway, Arsenal way. Moving like Poopus, then reports of 250. What? Chest is back. Yeah, it's nonsense. Don't believe in the hype. Do not get caught in the hype. Cool. Catch up soon. Thanks, Caps. Later, Dan has put Ajax have some tasty young players. Jury and Timber, Ryan, Gravenberch, David Nunes, Anthony, and Lissandro Martinez. Would you take them or look at them one by one? Obviously, you wouldn't take all of them. You wouldn't get all of them. But you would. The Ajax always produce. Always produce. It's their philosophy to produce players. They are a selling club. Dortmund are exactly the same. They're happy to do that. So for me, you would always try and pick players from Ajax. And they would come to Arsenal. Players from Ajax youth would come to Arsenal. It's changing now from an old Arsenal because Arsenal were very similar in their philosophy. Arteta does have that philosophy, so you would maybe get some younger players from Ajax. So definitely worth tuning in and trying to get some of those and try and, build relationships with Ajax, which is always good. So that is me wrapped up for today, everyone. Really do appreciate it. Like you say, go and check out the Euros from this morning. Check out all the other videos that we've got on the YouTube. Hit the subscribe button, like, share, comment. And I will see you on the next video, or come and pop on the live when we watch England against Scotland. A little bit of battle in the Britain. You take care.